I know there's been a ton of controversy about that match last week on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm bringing it up because I am a fan of the industry, but I'm also I love watching the show as a fan, but I'm also a talent. I'm a performer. I'm there in the trenches. I've had close to 2000 matches in WWE, so I watched it from like multiple different standpoints. I watched it from like, okay, what would I think about this as a fan? And then I'm like, oh damn, like I've so been in shitty situations in matches where I am like, I can't believe, you're kind of like, I can't believe this is happening. It's happening on live TV. Like I'm gonna be honest, there was a huge part of me that just like I know what it's like to go through stuff in matches and where things don't always go as planned. But it made me more compassionate. And I looked at all of my coworkers. I looked at everybody involved and I was like, nobody really knows what we're going through unless they have been in that situation. I have been in similar situations where I will have been the one, me, Natty. I will have made the mistake and then I will beat myself up for days. I will beat myself up for days and I won't sleep and I'll get a pit in my stomach and I'll need people to talk me off a ledge because I care so much about it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about our fans. Our fans care, they're deeply involved, and I always say sometimes good or bad, at least people are engaged. It's
It
not we're not
happens.
it
It
ha- and
happens.
the thing is that the industry in general, whether no matter where you work in the industry, it's not always going to be sunshine and roses. It's not always going to be these picture perfect matches. You're going to have people that are at the highest level who are amazing. We're human. You know what I mean? Like I've had some incredible matches in my career and I'll be the first to admit that I do make mistakes. It's not fun. It's not fun doing it in front of the entire world. But it happens. We're human. So I just, as a performer, I was like, damn, I've so been there. But I also think that the next step is, listen, these girls are all capable of having an insane match next week where they will steal the show and nobody will be talking about it. I had a match, Dave, where it was when I was in FCW before I got onto the main roster. I had like in one of these, it was not televised. It was like it was on one of the, I think we were maybe at a fairground or something like that. I completely like I forgot the finish of the match. I think I was supposed to make a save. I forgot to do that. It caused a domino effect. I was like, I thought my world, my life was ruined. I literally, and now it's funny because like nobody even cares. Nobody even thinks about it. I've had matches, Dave, where I've lost hair extensions. I've had matches where I've had my literally wardrobe malfunctions where I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe that like my bra snapped off or there was a like a hole in the crotch of these like spandex that I was wearing. Like this shit really happens. But the best thing to do is just move forward and it only drives us to have better performances. You live and learn and you grow. Show me somebody in this industry at the highest level who has not made a mistake.
And I feel like and Bully kind of explained like from his perspective what happened Friday night, and it was kind of like just a domino effect. Like one small mistake could just trigger a series of other small mistakes. And I think, it's a lesson to be learned for us fans, like myself as a fan. Like I think fans automatically want to point the finger of blame at somebody and say this person's wrong. It's not that easy. Sometimes it's just a set of circumstances that are just unfortunate.
And sometimes the person that they're pointing the finger at, trust me, they're beating themselves up worse than anybody could ever critique them. And it's especially this day and age when of course it's SmackDown. It's one of our, biggest shows. And
Yeah.
so there's millions of people watching. Trust me, they're beating themselves up. It happens. And like there was so much in the match because I was I always watch SmackDown and I was enjoying it. Like I was really, really enjoying the match. And there was so much good stuff in the match. So it's like, there's of course gonna be little mishaps, but I mean that was, of course, like I said, I think everybody involved just feels bad because we always want our performances to be amazing, but that's not how life is. And it's I was driving, I had like a 4-hour drive the other day. I was doing some stuff for my book and I turned on Undertaker's podcast because I was like, I just want to listen. I want to, I like hearing everybody's perspectives. I like Booker's perspective. I like your perspective. I like people that have a voice, I just want to hear what they have to say. And so Shawn Michaels was on Taker's podcast. It was with Michelle, and they were talking about their Saudi match. And Shawn was like, listen, let's not revisit that or whatever. And Taker's like, but we gotta redeem ourselves. And Taker was just kind of kidding. But those guys, Taker, Kane, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, like, you think about what they've done in their careers, but they've also had moments where they haven't been perfect. It's part of life. And like I said, I'm going to leave it at this. When we make mistakes, I just know from my own perspective, nobody beats ourselves up more than us. Nobody.
Yeah,
like we do not let it die.